Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's Kourtney here with Scrapbook-N-Memories for Crafty Hour number 38. Appears I forgot my drink. I will be right back. All right, there we go. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday afternoon. Happy Crafty Hour time. So I hope everybody tuned in today at 12 o'clock our time to enjoy Diane's wonderful cards. And then I'm going to end it in the afternoon, in the night with 4 more. I might be a little over ambitious with 4. But we'll see where we get, and what we don't get through, I will post the photos up in the group on those. So welcome, everybody. On the kit, I kind of had you grab some other items if you had them. If you don't have them, it's A-okay. Either use what you got or omit those things. Whatever you want. So one of the items I said, if you have, is a gold watercolor and a paintbrush. This is just so we can splat and add a little bit of a mixed media look to them and splat them. This is the Yosotomi sets that we've been getting, and gold is the new color, or the old color. The new colors is the red gold, so it's kind of like a red gold, and silver, and those are in stock, but I think we sold out of them already, but we have restock coming. So if you want to grab those or get on the list for them, make sure to contact your home stores on those. But what I like them, they're in these little ceramic dishes. They're highly pigmented gold, silver and red gold now, and they're fabulous to work with. So if you have any kind of gold, if you looked at my list, it was like gold this, gold that, gold this. Anything gold, grab it. We're going to slap it on, and it's going to be great. Thank you, everybody. So I really wanted to play with mixed, you know me, I love mixed media. I love the style and the look. So when I started creating with these, I just started creating, and then I couldn't stop. And I'm like, okay, I need to stop because 4 cards is probably too much. But we'll get through where we do. So anyways, gold to splat. Oh, Kathy, it'll turn up. It'll turn up somewhere. Then I also said gold wax. So this is by Spellbinders. This is their luster wax. It's been out for quite a few years. If you don't have the gold wax, you can grab gold cardstock, because what I did is I edged all of my cards with the gold wax instead of using gold cardstock. So if you have gold cardstock and would rather use that, go for it. But I thought I would give you a different look. We've used gold cardstock a lot. I wanted to mix it up and do something different. If you have the Finnabar brand, that works. Whatever you have. But we're going to be playing with some gold wax. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, thank you. This paper was stunning. The colors, once I opened the kit and saw those colors, I was like, oh my God, this is stunning. Deanna, we have to do a crafty hour with this, because I just love everything about it. So I'm glad we were able to get enough product and make this happen for our crafty hour. Another thing I said is to get gold sequins. Gold sequins, you know me, I had to work in a shaker card of some sort somehow. So there's our shaker card. We will start with this one, and that way I want to make sure we get through it, and then the rest of them are going to be pretty simple for you if we don't get to it. And then the last thing I said to grab was the chicken wire stencil. This is one of my favorite stencils. I use it all the time. You can kind of see in here, there is that chicken layer with the stencil paste. It's just the, it's called Champagne. It's a gold glitter paste by Crafters Workshop. That's what I used on here. If you don't have, and the whole thing about crafty art is use what you have. If you have a different color of paste, great, grab it. If you don't have a paste and maybe you have a hexagon chicken wire looking background stencil, awesome, grab that. Maybe you don't have any of those things. Well, you know what? There was a die cut in here that looks like the chicken wire. So use that. So use what you have. You don't always have to have exactly what I'm using. Or maybe I do use something and you're like, ooh, I like that. I want to give it a try. Then by all means, give it a try. Crafty Hour is about trying something new, using what you have, and just having fun. And it's an hour. It's an hour commitment. It's not something that's going to take you 3, 4, 5 hours. It's just a quick 1 hour commitment. So let me move all these guys out of the way. Oh, I forgot to get water for my stencil bath. I might have to go grab that. So let's grab your kit. The one we're going to start with is the one with the shaker in it. Now, there are card bases in here. All the card bases are the same size. It doesn't matter which one you grab. Oh, great, Joanne. I'm glad you're excited. We're doing some mixed media. I just want to add a little bit of tech. You know me. I always want to give you guys a technique or something new to try or new to play with. Okay, so these are your die cut pages. You can just kind of put these to the side for right now. You're not going to need them right yet. And what we're looking for is this background. And it is not that one. Yes, it is. It's this one right here. It's this up and down one. I just loved it. These colors sing to me. They are purples and teals, and the colors are just so relaxing and beautiful. So you're going to grab a card base. Doesn't matter which one you do. You can do a side open, a top open, whatever you want. Grab a card base, and then you're going to grab this one. And we're just going to cut them in half. You're going to see right where the two patterns meet up. Just take your trimmer and cut it right down the center. You could also use your scissors, but you know what? I could not cut a straight line if my life depended on it. So I'm just going to line it up on the track of my trimmer and slice it. And there we go. Looks good. And we're using that one right there. We're going to use this one. This guy you can throw to the side for later. Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the comments. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to take this background and we're going to make sure it's straight. I did notice that most of these in the kit were not straight, and I had to go kind of score them. And you know how I knew they weren't straight is once I put my ink on them and I still saw the white on the back. I was like, that's not straight, that's overlapping. So we're going to straighten it. I'm just taking a scrap piece of paper. You know what? There's an envelope. And I'm just putting it inside the card. Just a scrap piece of paper. I don't like to get the wax on my table or on my nonstick sheet because it is hard to get it back off. So I don't do that. So I like to work on this little palette with my waxes. I also use it for my paints and other things. It is from the Crafters Workshop also. It is a palette paper pad. There are 30 sheets in here. They are disposable. It has a slick surface so your stuff will not suck up into it. It is glued on both sides so it's not flipping and moving on you. And you can basically use this for a palette with your paste, your inks, oh, how funny, my lid stuck to my magnet. Whatever you want. And then when you're done with it and all used it up, then you just take it and rip it off and throw it in the trash. It's that easy. Okay, I'm looking for the little sponge I had. So I'm just going to I don't like to put my finger into the jar of wax because that can contaminate it and cause it to mold. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking my palette knife and I'm going to put it on there. And I'm just grabbing out what little wax I want, and you can always get more. And then I'm just going to take it, and you can use your finger at this point if you like. I find that the wax is hard to get off of your skin, and I don't want to leave fingerprints on everything else. So I'm just taking it, and we're going to wax the edge of our cards. And you know what? I might have got way too much wax. And we're going to wax all of our cards, so I might just go ahead and grab my other card bases to use up what's on my palette, because once the wax stays out in the air, it does start to dry. It does start to dry out. And this is just a little sponge from the Art by Marlene kits, one of her little sponges. Okay, so I got wax on there. Uh-oh, frozen. I'm watching myself and I see me moving. Okay, so we're just going to put wax all the way around our card. Doesn't need to be a lot, doesn't need to be super clean, just needs to cover that kind of 1/4 of an inch around there. Yep, everybody's saying theirs is fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Since I still have wax on my palette, I'm going to go ahead and grab another card base. And do the same thing because I don't want my wax to dry. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep another one because essentially I did the same thing to all 4 of my card bases. When I find something I like, I just kind of repeat it. And I probably don't have enough wax to go all the way around this, so we'll just come back to it when we get to that card. I don't know, might have enough. All right, so this is just a wax. It smells amazing. Kind of has like an orange citrus smell to it. It is from Sizzix. They have a beautiful gold one, a rose gold, and a silver that is fabulous. They also have an ivory one and a gunmetal one. I'm not as fond of those. I feel like their colors are blah. If you want other colors, go with the Prima. Prima comes in a little tube so you can squirt out the wax that you need. And they have fabulous colors, all of which we carry. So there's the pinks, the turquoises, your purples, all your metal tones, your earth tones. Those are all fabulous Prima waxes. So I think I'm about out of wax, and I think I'm actually going to complete this. And like I said, I'm just working on my palette. So when I'm done with this palette and dirty the whole thing up, you can just throw it away. Okay, so I got 2 card bases kind of waxed up. So we're going to set that one to the side, and we already started part of the second card. And look, I still managed to get it under my nails and all over me. That's how I roll. Okay, so there's that, right? Isn't it a great way? There's all kinds of different things you can do with waxes. Okay, so then we're going to go back to our card, and now we're going to grab that die. So the die set that comes with this, let me find my die set. This window that I'm doing for the shaker, the cool thing about it is you could use any of these dies in here and make different shakers. So you could use this die and stack the diamond like we did here and do some diamond windows. You could do the little teardrop, kind of do it in a circle and build. And then this shape, I love this shape. It could be a Christmas ornament. It could be just a random shape. But you could do same thing with all these, is build a fun little window. Okay, so we're going to grab our die cutting machine. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this die on there, and we're going to cut it directly out of our paper. I loved how this paper had beautiful backgrounds. It had beautiful edges and stuff on it. And I didn't want to take too much of that away from the card. I kind of wanted to accent it. Now, since this is a shaker, I got a little close over here. So you want to make sure that you're far enough over that when you go to put your foam down, that you don't, you want to make sure you have enough area to put your foam. Otherwise, your shaker Ghibli bits are going to fall out. Okay, so there's one, and we're going to keep these guys. We're going to use them here in a second. Nothing goes away. And then we're going to put our second guy on, and I'm just kind of leaving a little bit in between them. I'm building that pattern, kind of like a honeycomb pattern almost, you know. And then the next one, I'm going to do a little bit farther. I still want it on there, but I didn't want them to be 1, 2, 3 kind of equal. So I took this one and wanted to have it farther up than just right close to it. I wanted it farther up. So these dies are wonderful for doing these little shaker windows. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with them, and use the other shapes to make ones too. Okay, and then we're done with our die cutting. So we're gonna grab our card base and we're just going to lay that piece on there. We are not actually going to glue it on. We're just laying it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip these guys over, and they are gonna go right inside of the windows, and we are gonna glue them in. Okay, so lay your paper where you want it. If you want to put some removable adhesive on the back of it to kind of hold it while you're doing this, you can do that. But we're going to flip all of your die cut pieces over. And then we are going to watch my thing shift on me. We're going to glue them down inside of there. Now, I didn't do it this way the first time I did it, and let me tell you, after I added the window, it was a booger to figure out how to put those little pieces underneath there. Because I built my shaker, and then I had the white square, and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that white there. Ooh, what if I put these behind it? So I put them behind it, but I didn't have the opening still. Okay, then you're just going to lift that guy out. And those guys are perfect right where we want them, okay? All right, so that brings us to, now we gotta build our shaker. So we're gonna use score tape or some kind of tape that is going to lay flat, and we need to put it all around so our acetate piece will fit. And I hope the piece I pre-cut, yes, will fit. Because I changed it a little bit, I wanted to make sure it was still going to fit. So we're just going to go in and put down some score tape, suquang, whatever you call it. This is 1/4 of an inch. This 1/4 of an inch is my most used size. I like 1/4 of an inch. But it really doesn't matter what size you're using. You just want to make sure that the acetate is glued down and it's not going to go anywhere. And I don't like to use liquid with my acetate because it takes a while to dry. And then sometimes it moves and shifts on you. And on this, it doesn't need to be perfect because the shaker pieces are going to be underneath on the other side of the acetate, okay? So once you have those on, we're just going to pull all of that off. And I did have the acetate on the items to grab list. I don't want to call it homework list because it's not really a lot of stuff you have to prep. It's more or less just items to grab from your stash, if you have them. You could totally use a runner here also. Those are nice and quick and easy. I just like the strong hold of the score tapes. It is great for acetates. All right, how's everybody doing? Doesn't look like we have any questions. We're rocking and rolling, huh? Okay, so we're gonna take our piece of acetate and we are just gonna sit it right on top of there, okay? And now we have to do the shaker part. So we have to take our foam and build this layer up now. Let me find our foam. You know me, I love the Scrapbook adhesive brand. I think they have the best foam tapes. They have so many different widths that they are perfect for building your shaker cards. Oh, hello, Amy. Yep, you can catch us on replay. We are just still on card 1. I got a little overambitious by building a shaker card, but it will work. And so I'm just using the foam tape and I'm just building around each one of the windows. And the reason I'm building around each one of the windows is when I had my shakers in, I didn't want all my Ghibli bits to fall all the way down to the bottom. I wanted them to stay within each window. So each window I'm going to build. Oh, got lots of people watching. Okay, no worries. I hope you guys have been making all the crafty hours and kind of crafting, at least crafting along with us and taking an hour. It's just an hour for yourself, an hour to craft, an hour to do something fun. I know sometimes we sign up for classes or do some things and we're like over ambitious and we're like, oh, I just do not have 3 hours to do a class, or I don't want to start a class and not be able to finish it if you're doing virtual. So that's the nice thing about Crafty Hour. It's an hour. So hopefully it's something that you can do in kind of a little bit of spare time and do for yourself. We're always doing for others and we forget sometimes that we need a little bit of, let's say, crafting therapy too. We need a little time for ourselves. So we're hoping with the Crafty Hours that you guys are taking a little bit of time for yourself and doing something that you love. And we hope you girls are enjoying the Crafty Hours. We've got a couple more up our sleeve, and the new one goes live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So we will be doing Crafty Hour 41 tomorrow. Can you believe we are at 41? Yes, Sarah, self-care crafts. I love it. Yes. Okay, that's good enough. I've kind of got the little windows built. Well, since I have a foam in my hand right now, I'll go ahead and put them in there. Building. Okay, so there's our foam. I am going to add foam to the other areas too because we want the whole thing to be popped up. And here is, this is scrapbook and adhesive foam too. This is just the backing, the leftover pieces for the circles. And you know what? No foam tape goes wasted. So I'm just going to use these scrap pieces here because we do need to pop the rest of the card. I do not have any sneaky peekies because the kit is at the store actually. But it will have, it's a beautiful summer line. It's a beautiful line. You will love it. And I think Diane said she will be doing this one again. So this one will be me and Diane. And I can't wait. Diane is like the queen of embossing folders. I cannot wait to see what she comes up with next. So many clever, cute ideas with embossing folders. Okay, we'll give it a squish test. I think we're pretty good. We're pretty good. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and this works as a little pit stop of where to put your sequins too. So each little window is going to get some sequins. And then that way you know exactly where that next piece is going to go. That's a good amount of sequins. Put my lid on because if I don't, I have a tendency to spill my sequins. And then we're just going to peel all, let me put my cutting plates. I'm going to move the die cutting machine out of the way because we are done with him. Then I'm just going to peel off all the foam. And then we're just going to flip and press. And then that's it for our card. Super, super easy. Yep, I was very ambitious to think I was going to get 4 cards done, but that's okay. I can, the ones we don't get to, they're all pretty easy. I can kind of explain, and then I'll post the photos for extra inspiration in the group. I turned the music on, I had my gummy bears to snack on, and I started designing, and I just couldn't stop. I kept ripping and tearing and cutting, and I was just having a blast with this collection. Then I was like, ooh, I better stop. So you'll get lots of inspiration and ideas. Longest part is peel all these pop dots off. Okay, so then we're just going to kind of look, I'm going to try to not get my head in, look down from the top, line it up, and press. And look at how cute that is. Look how fabulous. Fun shaker card, and like I said, all those dies are going to make fun. Okay, now we got to do splats. Fun shaker cards with all those different dies. So I'm going to bring put my thing in the splat box. I'm going to add some water to our palette. I'm just going to pick up and then splat. Oh, and what I didn't want to do is I don't want splats to be on my acetate windows. So I'm just taking a scrap piece of paper and covering those up. And when I do my splats, I don't do them all over. I kind of stick to like an angle. I don't want the whole card to just look like gold threw up on it. I want it to look like there's a rhyme and reason. So I kind of start here and I go down across it. I want a little bit more water on mine. So when I need more water, I just put it in my lid so I don't oversaturate my palette. I kind of go in and mix it in the lid. Oh, there we go. Now I got some bigger splats. Okay, and that's it. Let's move those guys out. Okay, and there we have our splats, and then we're just going to let it dry. Then the last thing we're going to look for is a little bee in our die cut set. Somehow I've already lost mine. Oh yeah, I remember. I said I'm going to set these to the side. I set them to the side. So we're going to take this little guy right here. This little bee. I loved all these bees. They were all super, super cute. There's my scissors. I kind of tore them out of there and didn't tear very well. I'm going to put some little bee has to be popped, right? Oh, Coco thinks I'm talking to her. I call her Little Bean. Little Bean sometimes. She thinks I'm talking to her. Little Bean. And then we're just going to put the bee on there. I felt like this paper was so pretty that I didn't want to cover it up a lot. And then in your thing, you have this entire, and I use some of them, but you have this entire thing of sentiments. So I'm going to leave the sentiments off because maybe you want yours to say thank you or congratulations or happy birthday. You can put your sentiment right in here. We left room for it. So I will leave that for you guys to add later on that. So we'll go on to the next card. So the next card is going to be this one right here. I already golded a background. So if you need to gold the background, go ahead and do another one because we're going to need 2. And then we have to find this pattern. Which might be this one. It was right here on the top. Nope. It's going to be this one right here. So we're going to grab this one. It has the yellow honeycomb on the back side of it. So it's this card here at the top. And then we're also going to look for this one that has the purple words on it. So both of those we're going to cut out. Okay. So we want the one with the purple words. Purple words. And then we want this one. It has the bee up in the corner. It's got the yellow honeycomb on the back side of it. The other 2 you can put to the side. Okay, so this one, I know some of you, it's going to be hard, but we're going to rip it. And we're just going to kind of rip it across here at an angle. Best way to do it is don't think about it. Just hold your breath. And you're going to rip it towards you. And as you rip it towards you, it's going to give you that nice white exposed edge. This guy, don't throw him away. We're going to use him later. We're going to use him. So keep this guy. And there is your backer piece. Is that not beautiful? Okay, so what I want now is this purple piece that's going to be there. So you're just going to put your 2 pieces on top of each other. And what I did is I just took a pencil. I took a pencil and you're just going to kind of lift it and make a mark under there. And then you're going to lift it and kind of make a mark under there. Because only part we need is this corner. So there's no sense in wasting all of this. So I made my marks and I'm going to put it on my trimmer and cut it. So we can use that purple piece for a backing, but we can use the other piece for something else later. Okay, so this, save for something later, nothing goes to waste. And then this. When I'm creating, I love to create with all these bits and pieces, and then that's how my cards get more layers and creative, is because I just kind of keep creating and playing with them. Uh-oh, it looks like my purple might be a hair short. It is a hair short, but you know what? I'm going to run with it and I'll just cut my card down a little bit. It's a hair short, but we're going to run with it. Because I want to make sure everything is covered. We're going to make it work. And then all I'm doing is I'm kind of lining this up. I'm squaring it off on here. So then and just putting a piece of tape just to kind of temporarily hold it to make sure that we're going from edge to edge. And like I said, I had a hole in the center, which you know what? I could fill that hole with another piece of paper. Let me see how bad it is. Because I want that to go tip to tip. Oh, it's not that bad. I'll fix the hole. So what I wanted to do is go from the top tip to the side tip. So that is just squaring it off. So we are squaring off this piece. We're squaring it off. It's not very straight, Kourtney. So when we put it on our card, and maybe I put it on the card to line it up, we want to make sure it's equal all the way around it. And you know what? That white is really not going to bother me because it's kind of in with the tear. So it hides and masks. So we're going with it. Then we're going to grab our glue. Uh-oh. And I'm just using the Helmar 450. And I love the Helmar 450 because it gives you that little bit of wiggle. Gives you the little bit of wiggle, so if you place it down and you're like, ooh, that's not straight, you can whoop, and straighten her up. So we're just going to glue that on. So we have that nice torn edge. Make sure everybody's squared up. Okay, so we have that nice squared edge on there. And then here's where I'm going to add your die cuts. So we're going to pull some die cuts out. And I just loved all the color and I loved these flowers. So we're going to use this guy right here. It's kind of the medium size one. And I'm horrible at naming flowers. I have no idea what this flower is other than beautiful. And then we need a bee. So we're going to go with this big guy because I kind of like that it looks like he is landing on a branch. So we got that bee and that bee. This is where if you don't have the stencil to put on here, you can totally punch this guy out and put him on there. Totally use that piece in the background. And then this flower right here. I loved the double up of it. And I'm going to give you guys a moment to punch those out, and I'm going to go grab some water to put my stencil in. Oh, I didn't know you were here in here. Forgot to grab my stencil bath. So what it is, it's just a bucket. This is like the little dish tub buckets you get for $1. And I just immediately throw my stencil in it when I'm done using it. So the paste does not dry in it because you do not want the paste to dry in your stencils. If it does, you have an embellishment now, not a stencil. And even if you're working on a bunch of stuff and you're like, oh, I won't get to cleaning them very often, it's okay. As long as it is in the water and wet, it will not dry, and you can come back to it later. So sometimes when I'm done, I might have a pile of 5 or 6 stencils in the bath, and then I go and clean them all at the end. And as long as they're in the bath water, you don't have to worry about your stuff hardening on it. And then sometimes I like to have just a gentle scrub brush to kind of scrub the stencil too. So that's just kind of a little quick what I like to do for the stencil baths and stuff. That way, if you don't have a sink in your craft room, or you're like, oh, I don't want to stencil because I don't want to take the time to have to clean them all, just throw them in your stencil, let them all float in there, and then when you're done, go clean them at the end. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some paste. And we're not covering the stencil completely. I just want a little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom, a little bit kind of shining through where the embellishment is going to go on the top. I find that this paste dries pretty quick. This one by Crafters Workshop, this is the Stardust ones. I find the Stardust dries pretty quick. So by the time I'm done putting my lid on and struggling here and cleaning my stencil off, this paste will probably already be dry. It dries pretty quick. All right, since we're kind of cleaning and switching, are there any questions? How's everybody doing? Looks like we're doing good. I'm just kind of cleaning the stencil off right now because I did use it on the next card too. So I want to make sure my stencil is 100% dry before I go to use it on the other paper. Otherwise, it wets the paper and peels it, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, looks like everybody's doing good. All right, so I'm going to glue this guy flat. So this one's going flat. Again, you can use your white glue, you can use your Helmar, whatever adhesives you have. Here in the Midwest today, or actually this last week or so, we've gotten a lot of rain, like tons of rain, like it's time to buy an ark kind of rain. So it seems like my white glues are not sticking because it is so humid, but the Helmar does. The Helmar will. So if you find sometimes your glue isn't working, it's probably the humidity. Okay, then I'm putting pop dots on the back of the bigger guy, and we're going to pop him up. Okay. And then our little bee, not little bean, little bee, I'm going to put a pop on his upper wing. And then I'm just going to use, I'll use my white glue because I'm going paper to paper. The other one I went paper to stencil. It should stick. We're going to position them right there. Of course, I say that and then watch it not stick. Nope, he's going to be a little bigger. Again, I left this area open so you can put any of those sentiments on there. If you want it to say happy birthday, happy Mother's Day is coming up. Whatever you want, you've got all those sentiments. There's plenty of room to slide one in here. And then the next thing you're going to do is I'm going to leave this blank. But the next thing you're going to do, because I want to move on to the next card, is just give it your gold splats. So again, it's going to get gold splat like the other ones did. And then you have all your sentiments that you can put on there to make it say whatever you want. So there is card number 2, using that nice ripped edge. Nice ripped edge. Okay. Card number 3 is this one right here. You're going to notice that we're using that piece that we got rid of a while ago. Okay. So this one, we are pulling out that yellow piece that we had before. And then we do need to find another card. And this one kind of has purple on it and that big, is that it? Nope, big yellow flower. Is that it? Nope. Okay, now this is embarrassing. There it is. We cut another piece of it off. So I am going to bring my gold in because, well, we are going to gold this too. How are we doing on time? 15 minutes. We are good. We might not make it through the last one, but I can at least show you what we got going on. And you can save all the gold splats for later. You do those at the very end. Sometimes, well, you could save them all for the last and do all your gold splatting at the very end. Okay, so we are going to quickly gold the edge of our cards again. And doesn't this make for a stunning edge? I mean, it is quick, it is easy. A lot of you guys probably have waxes and you have not gotten them out in a long time. You either forgot about them or you're like, oh, the only way to use them is on top of an embossing folder. So I wanted to kind of bring in some more ideas and ways to use your waxes. And of course, they are beautiful on chipboard. They're beautiful on embossing folders, but just a back of a card base, beautiful too. And quick and easy. Okay, boom, done. I'm gonna go ahead and do another one because I still have wax on there. And we do have 4 cards. Don't know that we'll get to all 4 cards, but it's there. So a little bit of mixed media, but not too messy. I know some people are like, oh my gosh, mixed media means it has to be a mess. Not always. It doesn't have to mean that we're making a mess. We're not always flinging paint. Well, I love to fling paint, but if I can slowly get some of you guys just to try a couple little things. Yeah, right? Don't the waxes look beautiful? These waxes are just stunning. And a little, I'm telling you, this pot, I think I got that pot in 2020. So 4 years, barely looks like I've used any out of it, which I have. I've used the heck out of it, and it just keeps going. It might even be older than 2020. I can't remember. I remember we used some of them in a Maker Mania, but I think Maker Mania started before COVID, didn't it? I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. No, you do not need to set it with anything. It will not rub. Well, my finger already had stuff on it, but once it's dry, it will not rub off. You are good to go. Okay, so this is the base we're using. It's got the bee up in the corner, kind of the turquoise, and we're just going to glue it flat. Nothing fancy. If you want to put more layers on these and pop them, by all means, feel free to. But I'm kind of going a little flat because I wanted to be able to mail some of mine, so I didn't go too carried away with the foam. Okay, there we go. Then we've got that gold piece. Isn't that beautiful? Like I said, nothing goes to waste. We've ripped it off of another page. That's great. We're going to flip it and glue it down to something else. All the pieces get used. So he is just going to go down in that bottom corner, and look at how nice and lovely he is. Just like that. Oh, I love the smell. Yes, I sniff my craft supplies, and I think that those waxes just smell fabulous. The first time I ever used a wax, I think it was a Finnabar class. I was sitting in a Finnabar class, and they instructed us, do not open the pot yet. And I thought, well, that was kind of rude. I'm not a kindergartner. I know what I'm doing. So I didn't open the pot. I listened, and she explained to us what it is and how to use it and yada, yada, yada. And then she said, okay, go ahead and open it. And then when everybody opened their pot, they're like, oh my gosh, it smells amazing. Doesn't it smell so good? Oh my God, I love the smell of it. And she goes, that's why I told you not to open the pots, because it does smell amazing. And I know instead of you guys listening to me give you instructions for the class, you were going to be sniffing your waxes and telling each other how good they smelled. And we're like, oh yeah, yep, that's totally what happened. We would totally have not focused and oohed and awed over the wax and not listened to the instructor. Hilarious. She knew what was coming. Okay, so there I just put another layer. Oh, see, that's where bees. My stencil was wet, so you can see where it pulled my paper. My stencil was still wet. That's okay. We're going to put an embellishment over the top of it. Okay, so I just added that wax again because I felt like it just needed a little something something behind the layers to kind of pull everything in and make them work. And it builds the layers, it builds the interest. Deanna does layers with her metallics and with her die cuts. I do layers with textures. I love to add the layers and mix different textures and add your ephemera pieces. Okay, then we're going to put some pops on the back side of that guy. So he's going to be popped up. You know what? I got 9 minutes. I might actually make it through part of the others because we can skip a couple pieces on this. So I'm going to put my little guy there. He is covering up my boo-boo. You'll never even know that's under there. We need a little, I thought this was kind of like a bee wasp. I don't know. I don't know if they're all bees, but there's definitely 2 different styles of bees in this set. Cute fuzzy ones and scary ones. I don't know what to call them. They're probably all bees, just maybe 2 different breeds of bees. I don't know. I haven't looked up my breeds. Are there breeds? I'm sure there is on there. So again, you've got room here to put your sentiment. This finished one, what you're going to do is you're going to add your sentiment and then again, do your gold splat. I did the gold splat again across it at an angle. Okay. So that is card number 4, or sorry, 3. Number 3, and see how the paste and the stencil just give it a little something something. And this is by all means one of my favorite stencils because it adds a little bit of texture, but not too much. And it's very, very forgiving too. Okay, let me just get all the wet stuff out of the way here. And let's look at our last one. So we already have our gold edge. Aren't these gold edges just lovely? I love the gold edge. It's just lovely. Okay, the card we're going to use this time is this one here. It's got the pink dirty on the back. I don't know what to call it. It's that one right there. And we're just going to glue it down flat. Oh, let me grab, I got to go grab my die. Okay, we're just going to, sorry about that, glue this guy down straight. I'm fighting a little bit of a, I want to call it a spring cold. Maybe it's a cold and allergies. I don't know. I'm fighting something. Okay, we're just going to glue that guy down flat. Okay, thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, thank you. Okay, remember this purple guy that we had before, and I said don't throw him out? We're going to die cut him with these guys. These are the guys you're going to use for there. Uh-oh. I forgot I'm going to cut that. That's okay. We can cut him later. But I'm about out of time. I only have 5 minutes. So we'll see if we can make it through this or see how fast. So I'm going to cut my little ones out. When you are die cutting, make sure you're just not putting the die on willy-nilly anyway. When you put it on, you want your flat at the top. That way your words. So this does have words on it. And you want to make sure that you can read your words when you die cut it. Okay? Doesn't matter where on the paper you cut it. We're just using this scrap piece and getting as many of these shapes out of it that you can. And you're just going to line them up. Whoop. My magnet sometimes doesn't want to cooperate and chases my dies across the thing. But I love cutting with my magnetic platform and my self-healing mat. If it wasn't for the magnetic, just makes your jobs a lot easier with the magnets. Kind of helps hold them in place so static electricity doesn't make them jump and move. You know what? I might actually get one more out of this one. We'll see. That's okay. I got all the ones I needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, put that there, put that there. All right, so our last card, what we're going to do is we're just going to build like a honeycomb pattern. Okay? So we're going to put them on. We're going to leave a little bit of blue in between them. And I always like to do things in odd numbers, okay? And then make sure that fits on there. That is perfect. And then we're just going to glue these flat. Oh, interesting. I might try that, Linda. She says if you shake your magnetic plate, that evens out the grip. Might have to give it a little shaky shake. And of course, if you wanted to flip these over and use the other side too, or kind of alternate which ones you're doing, that would be awesome too. Feel free to do that. There is no right or wrong. I just really liked how the purple offsets for that turquoise. And then we had purple down in the bottom, so it kind of very nicely carries on that theme. And then this guy is going to go here. And let me find, what did I do with my pencil? Do I dare try cutting it with scissors? I got it. It's straight-ish. Right, Joanne? The colors in this palette and kit were just fabulous. The richness of it is just so beautiful. I know the minute I saw this line, it like sung to us. And we're like, we have to use this for a crafty hour. It is just gorgeous. So I hope you guys are enjoying the crafty hours. Last thing, we're just going to punch out some more die cuts and pop them. We really hope you guys are enjoying the crafty hours. We appreciate you so much for purchasing the kits from us and crafting along. And as long as you guys enjoy these, we'll keep doing them. So thank you so much for tuning in to Crafty Hour 39. This is using the fabulous 3/4 design card kit. And every month they release 2 new card kits. So if you love this look and love the 3/4, make sure to watch Scrapbook-N-Memories and Clipper Street for when we get in the new releases. and new collections. And each card kit is kind of pretty much exactly the same. You get your card bases, you get your punch outs. They're all in a fabulous theme, and they're just great. They have a little bit of a mixed media look to them. And the way they came up with their name is 3/4, because the owner said they give us 3/4 of the product we need in the kit to complete your project. All you have to do is add, you know, like your embellishments or the pizzazz or the wow to it. Okay, so then we're going to glue our little bee on there. Oh, I put one more bee at the top. I had one more. So the one on the flower is flat. The one up above, that's the wrong one. A little bit smaller one is going to be popped. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight, and tuning in at 12 o'clock today with Clipper Street. So if you missed the live today, it'll be over on Clipper Street's page. It will be posted on the Facebook feed, so you can go find it over there. And as always, you can find them on replay. So this one's done, except again for add your gold splatter, and then also a spot to put your sentiment of whatever you want it to stay. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you learned some new techniques. I hope you craft along. Or catch it on replay and craft along. And we would love to see your guys' cards, your interpretations. Please share with friends and family and let them know about Crafty Hour. It's a great way to get new people started. It's a great way to get people crafting again. So have a fabulous night. Thank you so much. And we will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific a.m. for the live reveal of Crafty Hour number 41. I created the vent already. It is ready to go, and I will be doing the live from my page, Scrapbook-N-Memories, but we will be sharing it over to Clipper Street's page too. We will add the links to the websites, so please jump onto the websites, because nobody will be manning the comments to do purchasing. So please make sure to follow the links that we post, and that way you guys can go to Clipper Street or Scrapbook-N-Memories to purchase your kits. And they are in store now, so they'll be ready for pickup and or shipping ASAP. So have a fabulous night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.